Hello everyone and welcome to another episode of Inside the Den. Now today we're going to take a look at Luna Plus, and this is a free-to-play kind of anime fantasy MMORPG. But let's get started. I'm going to do something a little bit different today. I've been playing this game a bunch, and as you can see I have my one character here who's level 26. I've actually already gone through the first job advancement, but I'm going to go through the character creation process so you guys can see that, and then I'm going to actually do the majority of the video with this character, and I'll talk to you a little bit more about why I'm going to do that after I get into the game and after I've created the character. But I want to show you the character creation process, so let's jump in there. So when you jump into the character creation process, you've got a couple of different options. First, you can do a human or an elf, and this becomes important because you have three classes here: the fighter, the rogue, or the mage. And as you advance and your job advancements, you reach your job advancements, there's only certain job advancements that are available to the different races. So human has a group of job advancements that are available to them, and then the elves have a group of job advancements that are available to them. So it kind of gets really interesting there, and so you want to... Now there's ones that are available for both. Let me make sure I say that. So there's ones for both, there's ones for each, and then, so on and so forth. So it kind of depends on what you want to do. Fighters are your warrior types. They become either your tanks or kind of your, warrior DPS. Rogues can be your rogue, scout, thief, or they can also kind of turn into your rangers and snipers and that type of thing. And then your mage is kind of this interesting dual class that eventually can go on to become, a wizard, a monk. They can also go down the path of becoming a cleric and a priest and a healer type thing. But we're gonna go on the mage path. We are gonna choose female. It's kind of weird. The male actually looks like a female to me, but hey, whatever. So then once you get through here, you don't have a lot of options here. You've got your basic different cut styles, and as you can see, when you choose your cut styles, you essentially are going to have a locked-in color. Now, later on you can change a lot of this with cash shop items or even items that you find. You're going to be able to change a lot of your appearance. The game gives you a bunch of stuff right in the beginning that allows you to dress up in all kinds of different costumes, dress up like a cat or a panda or all kinds of different stuff. But let's see, some different faces here. Actually, I kind of like that one with the red eyes, so red sun. So let's go ahead and name our character, and you guys know what I'm going to use. And then that's pretty much it. So we've created our character, we've got a mage, and there you go, we're in the game. Now, what's pretty crazy about this is, the anime style, but look at these different avatars. I'm going to run around real quick and show you some of these. Look at that one, and let's bring up our map real quick. It's kind of cool. You can see who has quests for you. They have these little kind of things swirling around the outside. But let's go over here and check this chick out real quick. You can see there's all kinds of craziness going on in the game world, but you can see right here, you can already tell the avatar is going to be pretty hot. So a little bit of cleavage going on there, but my favorite is actually down here. We're going to go all the way. Actually, let's quit out of this. Before we switch characters, we're going to run around, and the reason that I'm not going to do the majority of the video with this character is the beginning tutorial stuff is very much a lot of just exactly what I'm doing right now, just kind of running around. I want to show you guys a couple of crazy characters. I mean, you got all kinds of craziness going on in this game. You got, these giant bubble machines blowing bubbles. You can see there's another guy who's got a quest for us. You can see people running around on, that guy's flying around. There's all kinds of crazy mounts. You start out, and actually the game gives you a mount pretty early on for you to run around with, which is very helpful. But on top of that, you get a bunch of other ones throughout your first 20 levels or so. One thing I can tell you that gets really crazy is let's equip that, why not? Your bags. You have these two bags. You think you have a ton of slots? No, you don't. Those things get filled up so fast. It is unbelievable. Luckily, the game has a dynamic where you're able to deconstruct items, and I highly recommend you do it. Because the items you get with deconstructing are actually pretty valuable, and the currency is out of control. But here we go. Anime style. Look at my character. It looks like a little kid, right? Look at this chick. Huge tits, hanging out of this little tied up top. Then we cruise away. Let's quit her. Let's go talk to this one. All of these girls, all of these women in the game are outrageous as far as the art. But hey, why not? Might as well appeal to a little bit extra. But you know what? Let's get out of here. We're gonna go ahead and go back to the character select, and we're gonna choose our other character because I want to show you guys how that runs around. So you can see you've got 5 seconds there until we head back out to the character select, and there we go. We're gonna pick our little warrior and run around. Let's connect with him, and you can see you can choose different channels, and based upon how populated they are, they're either poppin', chill, or I'm sure they have plenty of other descriptors. Excuse me. So here we go. We're in with my guy, and you can see I'm pretty much dressed up in a hodgepodge of different costume items. I have chicken feet, chicken hands, a chicken head, and then I've got this crazy axe, and then I've got a it's like a general's kind of, it almost looks Michael Jackson-esque, this coat and pants. But it gets really interesting when you look at this stuff. You can see it's a general costume, but see, there's costuming, and this becomes very relevant that you look at these, because as you can see, the set effect, it actually gives me defenses to my physical defense, my magical defense. So it becomes very relevant that you find these items and you wear the ones that either can be part of a set or those types of things. As you can see, this general costume doesn't do anything for me, but this chicken one does. So we're going to go ahead and we're going to bring out our horse. We're going to jump on him and run around and take a look at a few things here. So there we go. We're all mounted up. And you can see the game doesn't have an auction house. It has player cash shops. So you can see you can run in here. And you will use this a lot because, like I said, you just get inundated with items. So you end up with all kinds of different stuff, whether it be stuff like this thin leather that's a regent for you to be able to create different gear, or it's, you know, stuff like these feathers where you can see right there, it can become complete fairy wing used to reinforce an item with the bonus of movement speed. So you're gonna find all kinds of stuff like this one, this heartstone, which you can give a bonus to item and maximum hit points. So you're gonna find all kinds of different things like that. Let's go ahead and open this thing up, and that dropped somewhere around here. Challenge match take? No, this Recall of the West. Actually, that's a pretty cool item, and it's worth pretty decent sum. So you're gonna use all of these hellstones too. But let's take and run around. We've got a whole bunch of quests here. We're gonna cruise off, and we're gonna head down this way. Maybe there we go, and head off and start taking a look at some of the monsters that are around. But look at some of these costumes. I mean, a little cat chick with sunglasses on. I mean, there's all kinds of craziness going on in this game. But let's take a look at some of the things that become really relevant. Up here, you're going to have, every time you level up, this little plus will open up, and I'll talk about that some more once we get through to the other side of this zone, and we start running. We want to run somewhere down here. Where is it? There we go. We want to run to there. So, actually, you know what? We're going to run right there and turn in that quest. So, I have no clue what the quest is, but we're going to run around and turn it in real quick before we run and start fighting some of these monsters. You see there's all kinds of different monsters all running around. You're going to slay just oodles of these guys and get all kinds of different loot. But anyways, back to what I was talking about. So, unfortunately, I just jumped off my horse. So, we're going to have to wail on this guy a little bit real quick. Actually, we're going to wail on all these guys. Where's my area of effect? There we go. Target them first. Very important. Then we just start plowing through. What's really cool, though, is you can see the game auto-loots everything. That's a good thing and a bad thing. Saves you a ton of time, but it also clutters up your backpack really, really quick. So you've got to pay attention to that stuff. So, there we go. Let's turn that in. You can reach Norris, blah, 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 blah. So on and so forth. We're out of here. So, we want to head down here and head to the next zone. But anyways, let's go back to what I was talking about. So you bring up, where's the character sheet? So you bring up your character sheet. Every time you level up, you're going to get a certain number of points, 5 actually, and then you're going to be able to dump into different stats. You can highlight over the different stats. They're pretty simple, pretty basic. Strength, you know, if you want to do damage, dex, obviously being able to affect your hit and stuff like that, vitality, health, all of that good jazz. But the real fun comes into play. Let's see, we want to actually go over here. Real fun comes into play with your skills. So every time you level up, you're going to get a certain number of skill points. And then you're going to go in here and you're going to select which skills you want to upgrade. And then you're going to hit learn. Now I can't learn any of these because I need to level up and I'm only 31% into my level. So, but you can see I've chosen a bunch of different skills that essentially, because I wanted to go with a two-hander. You do have different skills if you go with the warrior that are for one-handed weapon, and then you also have you know, some different buffs that you can use that become pretty important as far as giving yourself more health, giving yourself more strength, all of that good stuff. So every time you level up, you're going to be able to do all of that and pump up those different skills. So I wanted to come out here because these guys are pretty interesting. So when you're on your mount, it's kind of cool. You can just hit U and it'll jump off your mount. Your mount will kind of follow you around, and then you can jump back on them anytime. So we're going to use a couple of our skills, take these guys out. You can see down here I'm getting my quest item wood planks. The really nice thing about the quest items is the quest items actually go into this vault right here. They don't go into your backpack. Let me tell you something. If these things went in your backpack, you'd be so screwed. You'd never have any room. There's no way you'd be able to go through the first 5 levels, let alone the first however many, without having to upgrade your backpack or just be constantly just dumping stuff. Because as you can see, I'm getting iron ingots, I'm getting hit point potions, I'm getting all kinds of stuff. So let's keep taking out some of these guys. I have all kinds of different things I need to take out in this zone, and you can see there's all kinds of different quest givers and stuff like that. But I'm really going to focus on taking these guys down right now. We just picked up a priest one. Now when you do pick up items that's actual gear, you can see sometimes they come with a plus, you know, this one's got a +3 on it. +3 priest wand. And you can see down the physical attack and the magic attack. So you can actually take and you can go into your skills, and I can do this right now because I'm not riding my mount. And you can actually go to enchant, and then you can drop this right in here, and then if you have the proper little scroll, you hit enchant, and if it succeeds, you get an additional +1 on top of that item. You can do this with your weapons, you can do it with your armor, you can do it with your accessories. The only thing that's different is every time you have these different scrolls. And there's different ones, different scrolls that you can pick up that essentially will either give you a moderate chance of succeeding at actually upgrading the item, or you could pick up ones that pretty much give you a 100% chance of upgrading the item. So, but they're pretty pricey. Sometimes you can find them on players, and you can find them much cheaper, but a lot of times they're pretty much you're going to buy them from the materials vendor, and I think they're about 50,000 for the ones that 50. But when I say 50,000, look, I'm level 26. I pretty much played the game for about, I don't know, maybe like 7 or 8 hours, and I've already got 1.7 million. Now, the great thing is early on in the game, you start to get a couple of quests that give you some items that are worth about 100,000 a pop. So it becomes really apparent that everything in the game is overly inflated. I mean, you're going to see people in chat advertising items for, you know, billions, if not, you know, hundreds of millions. So it gets pretty nuts. And I don't know why they couldn't have just knocked the currency down a little bit, but hey, who really cares? I mean, every single time I take one of these guys out, I'm getting about 1,400 gold. So here's a 39 level chick. She's all spruced up, and she's got some different buffs going on. Let's go ahead and throw a little buff on her. There we go. We buffed her up, and then she gave us a buff, this Fighter's Blessing, and we want to actually buff ourselves. There we go. So now we have the Fighter's Blessing, which actually gives us a much faster attack speed, so these guys will go down even faster than they're already going down. So, and then I just gave myself a boost to strength. But there's a bunch of different additional skills in here that you're going to want to pay attention to. You have Construct, which will allow you to make your own items, make your own gear. You've got Reinforce, which is a little bit different version. You can place the item in here you want to reinforce, and what this essentially does, we could place this item in here, and you could see you could put jewels in here, and those jewels are kind of like these items here. So we can also look at the compatible materials and see what we can use on this item right here. So you can see we've got Lithion, Moonstone, or this, or a Chelachum. So And you can see when you highlight over them, bonus to physical attack and attack power, stuff like that. So it becomes really, really relevant that you pay attention to these different things, and you go out and you find the materials. You can find them. A lot of this stuff, I have a bunch of these in my storage, so I can really, pump up this item if I want to, pretty much just with stuff from my storage. You're also going to get these little items right here, these dull crystals of protection. And you can see it's a lucky crystal given for killing a certain number of monsters. Becomes another item if you double click. So let's open it up, and there we go. We got a wind crystal, which will reinforce an item with the bonus to evasion. Then we got another one, this crystal of time, and that actually is giving us opera gloves. And you can see those are good for 7 days. I've got a couple of those. I've got this one right here, which is costume hair, which is vampire circle. Those actually sell pretty good. Or if you want to kind of trick your guy out and actually change the costuming, you'll use those for that stuff. But let's keep taking out a couple more of these guys. We actually need a lot more of these guys. We've only got 4 of these items. Now, one thing, like I said, you're going to use a lot is this deconstruct. So you're going to use this. We don't need any of this stuff. It doesn't sell. You'll find out really quick playing the game the stuff that sells and the stuff that doesn't. So the stuff that doesn't, you're going to want to deconstruct. So you deconstruct and it'll make these crafting item things. And these become very important because you'll have different buffs that actually require this. So you can see right here, I'm highlighting down below the fighter blessing, item needed, crafting item thing, 1 second, so on and so forth. So we'll deconstruct, take those. We've got a pile of them over here somewhere. So they just jumped into the pile, whatever. They're all gone now. And we have this stuff. So that's kind of one way you can keep your backpack cleaned up. But still, like I said, it's pretty crazy how this stuff just piles up. I think it's pretty cool how, there's all these different costumes and stuff like that. You can also see when we were in the town, there was plenty of people playing the game. Population, I would say, is on the medium level. It's not on the high for sure. There's not enough servers really at all for it to be considered high. But as far as the different servers that you go on, you can definitely take and find plenty of people to hang out with and use the party system, and you can jump in parties and run around and do different stuff like that. So we are turning in a couple quests here. Let's go quest, hardening stone. Nope, we don't have any of this stuff yet. We go trading, and she has a bunch of different potions and stuff. You'll find, let me tell you something, you're never going to buy any of these potions. You're going to find so many potions, it is just absolutely ridiculous. I dump potions all the time because there are just way too many. So you can hit B, bring up your friend manager. You can bring up your local map by hitting M, or you can hit up the world map by hitting W. You can see the world is broken down into all these different little zones. So you can run through all of these different little zones as you level up. And you can see it's kind of cool. They've got all kinds of different kind of locale styles and stuff of that nature. So let's see what else we have here. R actually will adjust your run. T is your tutorial. I'm not going to run through all these because the next one I'm going to show you is pretty much going to do it for me. If you hit H, you can bring this up and it'll show you all the hotkeys. And then this way you can take and you can see exactly what you need to press, if you're missing something, stuff like that. We're going to cruise over here, and we actually need to go over here and take on some of these harder monsters. We're going to go take on some of these giant golems. This area is all filled with kind of these Halloween or monster, I want to say monster movie style monsters, bats, and these are called lycanthropes, but they're basically werewolves and wild zombies. And then you've got all kinds of different stuff. I think I have to take out some of these guys. They've got me by about 4 levels, so we're gonna have to be pretty careful and manage our health pretty well while we're taking these guys out. But they go down pretty quick, and that's one thing that's really nice is you blow through so many different monsters. And if you can find someone of higher level to help you, it's really great, because that's one thing that I found is the game is loaded with very, very helpful players. I don't know if it's mainly because, the population is, only moderate and they're looking to help anybody out that they can get up into the higher levels and help them, maybe join their guild or whatever. But it's definitely filled with a lot of helpful players and a lot of players that are willing to be very vocal in chat, which I found pretty cool that people were ready and willing to help. ready and willing to be to help me jump in a party, ready and willing to, you know, just chat with me and help me out with questions that I had and stuff like that. So graphically, you can see, I mean, it's basically your standard, you know, anime style MMO. It's not anything groundbreaking graphically, but definitely they throw in some eye candy there to make it worthwhile when you're turning in those quests and stuff like that. So sound-wise, there's always music playing, and each of the different zones have different music, which is really pretty cool. I really enjoyed the music throughout the different zones. This one definitely gives the feel of the kind of this horror type. It's almost like horror or comical, like a horror carnival, I guess you could say, in this zone. And I better pay attention or else I'm gonna die. So I need to take this guy out much faster. So UI is nice, sleek, clean. Everything is all around the outside. You can see everything really easily. You can get to everything really easily. As far as that stuff is concerned. But I hope you guys enjoyed today's trip inside the den. Don't forget to subscribe and keep yourself updated as each new episode is released. If you would like to play or learn more about Luna Plus, you can read our full review at MMODen.com or just click the link in the description. Kind of losing my train of thought. It's really early in the morning, so that's the even better reason to let you guys go. Till next time, thanks for watching.